motherfuckers? How's everybody doing today? Damn, I had something stuck in my throat. Let's take a look at this bad boy. So, this is the Benchmade Mini Adamas new offering from Benchmade with CPM CRUWEAR. Look at that blade. Man, that thing looks good, don't it? Look at that edge grind on that thing. Woo-wee. That's what convinced me to buy this, man. So, I went down to Hellacious Blades yesterday. I got to get off work early, and that place is pretty close to where I work. It's in Lake Wiley, South Carolina, and I've known it was down there for a good long while, but I've never had a chance to actually go when they were open because their hours of operation and my work schedule just don't coincide very well. So I got off early yesterday and decided to head straight down there because I wanted to check out their little shop. And it's a nice little place, man. They got a lot of William Henry custom knives. They got a handful of Benchmades. They got a couple of Protect, some Chris Reeve knives. Good bit of line steel. He said he just got in a bunch of new, what are those? Curtis custom knives, I think is the name. You guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, they got a good selection down there. And they also offer a lot of other options online on their website. So if I remember, I'll leave a link down in the description. You guys can go check out Hellacious Blades. That's where I picked this up. And it's a pretty cool little store, man, and great customer service. If you guys are in the area, go by and check it out. It's definitely worth the trip, in my opinion. And they hooked me up with a little bit of this Breakthrough knife oil. Never heard of this before, but they had some sitting down there. I was asking him about it, and he just threw in a bottle of it for me for free. So I'm going to try it out, see how it works, and I appreciate that. So let's talk about this Benchmade Mini Adamas. So I went down there with no intention of buying anything, right? But I got to looking through their knives and saw this Adamas, and I knew this was coming out. I knew it was already out, and I pulled it out of the case. I was like, I just want to look at it, you know. And I started fidgeting with it, looking at it, looking at this blade and this coating on there, man. Sorry, I just hit the camera, shaking around. Looking at this blade and looking at this edge grind, man. And I was like, damn, you know, it looks like they might have upswept it a little bit too much right there. But man, that looks good, don't it? And it's very consistent. Benchmade did a fantastic job grinding that. Whoever did this over at Benchmade, props to you, man, because, you know, initially I was looking at it and I thought, man, that's a pretty thin bevel. That looks like it's pretty thin behind the edge, but I measured this already. We'll measure it again for you guys, but it's about 22 thousandths behind the edge, so yeah. About 22 right there, but now if we measure the tip, look at the tip on this thing. That's a pretty thick boy right there. So we're looking at about 43 at the tip. So whoever ground this, you know, they changed the angle as they were going and kept it pretty consistent. So that's a pretty fantastic job, man. And I don't know, I mean, it looks like it was done by hand on a belt sander, but I was pretty impressed with that. And then just looking at the blade, holding this in my hand, I like this blade shape, this nice drop point blade. This is a first production Shane Siebert design. And this is, you know, the Mini Adamas. So this is just a shrunken down version of the original Benchmade Adamas. And I was holding it, looking at this blade, and I was like, man, that's nice. I like that right there. Your thumb just lays right there on top of the blade, so you can really push and cut into something. And, you know, it makes sense for them to grind this at a steeper angle. And for this to be really thick at the tip with this tough CRUWEAR blade, they want you to really use this thing, man. So let's do a couple size comparisons. I don't want to keep this too long. It's just going to be like a sort of an unboxing. So let's do a couple size comparisons. There's the pair of 3. A little bit bigger than a pair of 3. The Manix 2 in CRUWEAR. I'm going to do some more videos on this one. We'll talk about that in a later video. So, not too much smaller than a Manix 2, but a little bit. And that's all I got with me right now. So there's your couple size comparisons. I think this is about 7.62 inches in overall length. Let's see, we got about a, and if we measure from right here, got about a 3¼ inch blade, just a little over a 3-inch cutting edge, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, it's about the same either way. Just over a 3-inch cutting edge, thumb stud opener, sort of a mid to high saber grind with a nice swedge on top. Looks pretty well done, and not perfectly consistent, but pretty close. It matches up evenly. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Nice little fuller milled into the side of the blade there. I think that's like a Siebert trademark or something that he does on his blades. Some nice jimping on the spine there, and that little ramp if you're holding it back in this hammer grip position, and jimping all the way around the scale. So this is 3D contoured G10 scales, and they're just lightly contoured, just a little bit. Got some holes milled in the G10. I seen somebody else's review said that these were indexing holes made to where you could switch positions easily and be able to hold on to those holes if you needed to. But this pocket clip is so long that you really can't do that, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really work for that, except for maybe this front hole, but that's about it. The rest of them are covered up over here. And got Benchmade's sort of standard deep carry clip, normal size, Parkerized. I like this pocket clip a lot. It's not too thick, so it doesn't have, it's not overly difficult to get it in and out of the pocket. But I do feel like it might be a little bit too long for this particular model. But nonetheless, a nice pocket clip and a good design, in my opinion. Open back construction. Really thick liners on this bad boy. And a good bit of milling out of the liners to save some weight. This weighs 4.3 ounces, I believe. And check out these washers on the inside. Nice and thick, large diameter washers. So this thing is built like a tank, man. And very comfortable in the hand. Nice chamfer all the way around the scales. Got some jimping, here, 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 and here on the back. And inside the chewels on the underside of the handle. Very comfortable, like I said. I get a full grip on this. It's just like that perfect mid-range EDC side, but built like a tank, so you can really beat on this thing if you need to. And I think this is a Cerakote coating, tungsten gray Cerakote. That's what the websites say either way. And this CRUWEAR blade. So this is Benchmade's first time using CRUWEAR. I'm really excited about that. If it wouldn't have been for that, I doubt I would have picked this up. Honestly, like I said, I didn't intend on getting this anyway. It just kind of spoke to me after I handled it, and I really thought that they did a great job with it, and that sort of put me over the edge of grabbing this. Never owned a CRUWEAR knife before. I've got this one in to test out and try out. So this will be my own first personal knife with CRUWEAR, and Benchmade is supposed to be running this at 63 to 65 HRC. I'll get this one tested, and in my review or initial impressions, I'll talk about that. We'll see what the hardness is of it and see how this holds up over time. And I hope that this coating holds up well. I'm not sure how good it is or bad it is, but I'm gonna try it out. We'll see how it holds up. Yeah, we'll see. And then one thing I do want to say before we end this real quick is, obviously this is probably at a pretty steep angle, right? This edge grind, given how thin it looks, I would say this is probably at 20 degrees per side, and then it's getting thicker as it goes up towards the tip. So if you keep this angle on yours, if you have one of these or you pick one of these up and you sharpen it and you keep it at this angle, you might notice less edge retention than what you're used to hearing of or seeing on CRUWEAR. So just keep that in mind if you do purchase one of these. It does seem to be at a pretty steep angle, so if you want better edge retention, it's not doing as good as you think it should be doing, maybe lower it down a little bit, change that angle, and it might do a little bit better for you. But if you're really beating on this thing, then that angle is gonna hold up pretty well for you and support that edge a little bit better, I would say. So Yeah, nice knife. I'm excited to have it. So you guys stay tuned for more on this. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.